Beyond Jugaad, why our favorite cultural habit might be secretly destroying Indian innovation by Sujay L. Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's jump right into this. You know, in India, we wear Jugaad like an absolute badge of honor, don't we? We celebrate it at our movies, we literally applaud it in our boardrooms, and we praise those clever workarounds, the duct tape fixes, the brilliant little hacks that miraculously get a seemingly impossible job done when there's absolutely zero budget. And hey, it's a fantastic story of resilience. But today, we need to have a really honest conversation about what happens the morning after that quick fix. We need to confront this cultural myth head on, not to tear it down, but to evolve past it. Because Jugaad, it's not actually our national superpower. In fact, if you look closely at the data and our infrastructure, it's very often a symptom of systemic failure. By framing Jugaad as a superpower, we are secretly capping our own potential and destroying our capacity for true world-class innovation. Think of this explainer as a direct consultation just for you, the professional engineer, the technology lead, the startup founder, or the system architect. We're going to deconstruct this national habit together and figure out how to build something permanent in its place. Invisible design flaws are destroying Indian innovation. So, here is a pretty harsh, disruptive truth that we have to internalize right now. Invisible design flaws are anchoring us to mediocrity. You see, growth without design, it's just organized chaos. We scale up our operations, we hire more people, we push out more products, but underneath it all, the foundation is cracking. Now, look, we absolutely must have empathy for resource constraints. I get it. That is why Jugaad exists in the first place. When your back is against the wall, you do what you have to do to survive. But we also need absolute candor regarding scalability. Think about it. How often have we sacrificed a permanent, scalable fix for a messy overnight patch job just to make the Friday deadline? When we constantly glorify the quick fix, we fundamentally stop demanding long-term, scalable architecture. We condition ourselves to become a nation that aggressively patches problems instead of engineering flawless solutions. We end up choosing short-term survival over long-term global dominance. Defining design as the architecture of efficiency and system optimization. All right, so the absolutely crucial point here is understanding the profound structural difference between a hack and a system. Jugaad happens when a system is fundamentally broken, or maybe it never even existed at all, and we're forced into purely reactive survival mode. It's literally just a reaction to chaos. A hack merely hides a symptom for a day. It's like putting a bucket under a leaking roof and high-fiving yourself for keeping the floor dry. Sure, it worked for now, but it leaves the root cause completely untouched, just waiting to explode again tomorrow when the rain gets heavier. Design, however, is the architecture of efficiency and system optimization. A properly designed system doesn't just hide the problem, it completely eliminates the root cause. It ensures the problem never actually happens in the first place, which frees up your cognitive load to focus on real growth. Civic infrastructure. Duct tape versus modern engineering. Let's move out into the real world for a second and see how this mindset impacts different sectors, starting with our civic infrastructure. The contrast here is incredibly visceral. The Jugaad approach, the chaos, is basically dumping loose gravel or makeshift tar into a massive pothole right before monsoon season hits, just to temporarily clear a traffic bottleneck. It's cheap, it's fast, and the brutal reality is that it washes away in exactly 3 weeks with the very next heavy downpour. True modern engineering, true design, treats roads as an entire living system. It means engineering deep core drainage networks and utilizing predictive AI models that analyze decades of weather patterns, local soil degradation, real-time traffic weight loads, and thermal expansion, all before a single drop of tar is even poured. It predicts where the wear and tear will happen and reinforces it ahead of time. That right there is the difference between a 3-week patch and a 30-year foundation. Tech startups. Duct tape versus modern engineering. Now, if you are a technology lead or a senior developer watching this explainer, pay very close attention to how this plays out in tech startups. The Jugaad here is slapping together messy, unoptimized code and manual backend workarounds just to hit a promised launch deadline for investors. This tech Jugaad might technically work for today's demo, but man, it creates an incredibly fragile ecosystem. It generates massive technical debt, meaning your engineering team will soon be spending all their weekends frantically squashing bugs and restarting servers instead of actually building revenue-generating features. Modern engineering, by contrast, is establishing an AI-native modular DesignOps framework right from day one. It means setting up automated CI/CD pipelines, intelligent regression testing, and a clean architecture that can seamlessly scale from 1,000 concurrent users all the way to 10 million users without your engineering team ever breaking a sweat. Manufacturing duct tape versus modern engineering.
You can take a walk onto pretty much any medium-sized manufacturing floor and you will see this exact same psychology at play. The duct tape method is quite literally tying a loose, rattling gear with a piece of wire, or relying on manual operators to forcefully babysit an aging machine just to survive the day's production quota. It is stressful, and honestly, it's incredibly dangerous to your margins. But true design? That is integrating IoT sensors that measure vibration frequencies and heat signatures in real time. It's utilizing AI-driven preventative maintenance that predicts a part is going to fail 48 hours before it actually snaps. It automatically routes the repair workflow and orders the replacement part. It's moving your entire operation from reactive manual panic to an automated systematic precision that ensures absolute zero downtime.
Why do we tie our professional pride to fixing things manually? This brings us to a fundamental psychological barrier that we absolutely have to break. Why on earth do we tie our professional pride to fixing things manually? As professional engineers, project managers, and tech leads, we secretly love the heroics of jumping into a chaotic situation, don't we? We love getting the call at 2 a.m. to fix a crashing server, or rushing to the factory floor to patch a broken assembly line. We take massive pride in our reactive survival tactics because it makes us feel indispensable. But listen, if we want to compete on a global stage, we need to completely shift that mindset. We need to stop praising the duct-taped innovation of the hero who runs in to fight the fire and start demanding systems where the fire literally cannot ignite in the first place. Quiet competence, unshakable stability, and delightfully boring, predictable operations, that should be our new point of pride. Common excuses and strategic advice. Of course, the very moment you step into a meeting and propose slowing down to build proper, resilient architecture, you are going to hit a wall of organizational resistance. You'll inevitably hear things like, "We have no budget," "We have no time," or the absolute most dangerous phrase in business, "It works for now." Let me tell you, "It works for now" is the battle cry of a system that is guaranteed to fail tomorrow. My professional advice to you? Don't argue about technology, argue about economics. You must actively prove to your stakeholders that while a quick hack might save a few thousand rupees today, the compounding technical debt it incurs is going to completely bankrupt your operational efficiency next year. Frame the argument around the massive opportunity cost of having your best people constantly fixing old, broken patches instead of driving new innovation. You have to aggressively shift your leadership's mindset away from short-term survival tactics. 4 steps to shift your operations. So how do we actually execute this shift in our daily operations? Well, the very next time a workflow problem arises or a system bottleneck slows you down, force a change in behavior. Step 1. Immediately stop looking for the quickest hack. Just resist that muscle memory to quickly patch it and move on. Instead, step 2, force the team to step back and analyze the entire system to find the structural root cause of the friction. Once that's identified, step 3, look at where modern tools can permanently solve the issue. Use AI to streamline the friction, whether that means implementing automated code refactoring, intelligent load balancing, or predictive supply chain routing. Leverage automation to do the heavy lifting. And finally, step 4, build architecture designed not just to survive the afternoon demo, but engineered to scale effortlessly for the next decade. Mapping long-term compounding tech debt against standardized AI architectures. Projecting this mindset out over 3 to 5 years reveals a stark, unavoidable reality for any organization. On one side of the equation, the tech debt of our quick fixes violently compounds. The manual patches pile up. Your software gets heavier, your operations get slower. Onboarding new staff becomes a total nightmare, and the entire system becomes highly prone to catastrophic failure. But on the exact opposite side, the benefits of standardized AI architectures forcefully compound in your favor. Automation takes over the mundane tasks, system velocity skyrockets, and your team is finally freed up to do deep creative work. Jugaad might keep you barely afloat in the immediate day-to-day chaos, but make absolutely no mistake, standardized, perfectly designed AI architecture is the only bridge that leads to global standards. We simply cannot build a global economic powerhouse on a foundation of temporary patches. Subscribe to Better India by Design for more such videos. Ultimately, we have to make a very deliberate choice about what kind of builders we want to be. We need to stop fixing problems right as they happen and start designing brilliant systems where those problems simply cannot exist. So ask yourself, what is your team building tomorrow? A temporary patch or a permanent foundation? If you are ready to make that critical shift from reactive hacks to scalable world-class design, subscribe to Better India by Design for more explainers like this one.